Hi, my dear student. How are you today? Are you good? Excellent. Welcome to our English class. For today, we are going to play the game. Okay? Our game is Simon Say. In this game, you have to follow the command after the phrase Simon Say or get eliminated. Simon Say, what is this game? And how can you help? This game is excellent because you can learn about how our brains, okay, you can look in the picture. This is brain, okay, tell our body when and how to move. Este juego nos va a enseñar cómo nuestro cerebro le dice a nuestro cuerpo qué hacer. Okay? You have to pay attention first. Second, ask your mother or your father or your brothers for helping. And you have to bring the things that I say, and you have 5 seconds, okay, to do the action. In this occasion, I am Simon, and you have to listen and do that the teacher say. En esta ocasión yo voy a ser Simón. Tiene que traerme las cosas o hacer lo que yo diga. Y la persona que está a su lado va a comprobar si usted hizo lo correcto. ¿Ok? Let's start. Ready? Number 1. Simon say, bring a red marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's check. Simon said, bring a red marker. La persona que está a su lado va a chequear si usted trajo lo correcto. En este caso, a red marker. Okay, number 2. Simon said, bring 4 shoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, quickly, 5. Okay, let's check. 4 shoes. Excellent. Let's start with the next. Simon say, bring a cap. What is cap? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's check. This is a cap. Okay, ¿lo pudo hacer? Okay, the next. Simon say, bring, traer, 5 spoons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's check. What are spoons? Excellent. ¿Trajeron lo que pedí? Yes? No? Okay. Let's continue. Simon say, listen. Simon say, bring something from the fridge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, quickly. Let's check. Simon say, bring something from the fridge. Yo dije que trajeran algo, cualquier cosa del refrigerador. ¿Lo lograron? Yes? No? Okay. For the next class, try to practice, okay? At home, the same. Listen about the commands that your mother say. For example, please give me, can you help me in the kitchen? And you have to do this action. Okay, let's start with our class, my dear student. For today, our topic is present perfect and second conditional. Our objective for this class is to analyze the structure in present perfect and second conditional. We are going to do a small review about present perfect. In present perfect, what is the structure? Okay, very good. Subject plus has or have and plus the verb in the third in past participle or the third column. And what is the negative of the auxiliary in present perfect? Okay, has not or have not, or with contraction, hasn't or haven't. Excellent. Now let's start. Look at the picture. The structure subject plus has or have according to the subject. Remember, he, she, and it. With the third person, you have to use has and the verb in past participle. In the case of regular verbs, you have to add ed in the final. In the case of irregular verb, you have to change all of the form of the verb. In negative form, the structure subject plus has or have. In this case, is negative, you have to add not. Has not, have not, or with contraction. Hasn't or haven't. Okay? And the verb in past participle. Okay? Don't forget that. Now, this is a small review about second conditional. When we use second conditional, we have to join two grammar. For example, one, past simple, then you have to join with a comma, and the second sentence is using would, the modal verb. Okay, let's start. If she studied hard, when the first sentence is using if, the clause if, the sentence is in past simple. And then you have to join with a comma. The second part, you have to use the modal will. She will pass the test. If you want to change the order, you can do that, but you don't use the comma. She will pass the test if she studies hard. Si queremos cambiar el orden, podemos hacerlo, pero entonces ya no vamos a ocupar la coma. Okay? Now, let's start with your book. Please open your color book, your black and white book. Okay, on page number 70. Page number 70. Okay. Activity A. Complete the sentences with the current form of the verb in parentheses. In this activity, we are going to use the second conditional. If these are animals, in this case, you can look in the picture. If the desert animal, you have a verb in parentheses. During the day, they get, in parentheses, too hot. If the first sentence is using the clause if, the verb, you have to write the verb in past. In this case, hurt is a verb is a regular verb. You have to add ed. And the second part, comma, and the second part you have to use the modal would. Would get. The verb is in the base form. Number 2. If, in parentheses, make friends with a monkey, if I live, in parentheses, in the rhymes first. In this case, you have to analyze the structure of the sentence. In the first part, this sentence isn't using the clause if. For this reason, in the first sentence, you have to use the modal would. I make wool and the verb in the base form make friends with a monkey. If in the second part, when you use the clause if, you have to use past simple. Live is a regular verb, and when you use a regular verb in past, you have to add ed. I lived in the rainforest. Okay, let's check number 3. If I, in parentheses, go to the tundra, I, in parentheses, take a big coat. In this case, if the sentence is using the if clause, the first part is in present simple. Excellent. And the second part, you have to use the modal verb would and the verb in the base form. What is the past of the verb go? Excellent. Went. If I went to the tundra, comma, I will take a big coat. Okay? Number 4. Grasslands, in parentheses, have many more trees if they never, in parentheses, have a dry season. In this case, the first part isn't using the clause if. For this reason, you have to use in the first part the modal verb would. Grasslands, would, and the verb in the base form have many more trees if they never. The second part, when you use if, the sentence is in past. What is the past of the verb have? Excellent. Have a dry season. Recuerden, en estas oraciones, si la primera parte no comienza con if, nos menciona que la oración va usando el modal would y el verbo en su forma base. En el caso, como vemos en el número 3, si la oración comienza con if, la cláusula if nos decía que en el segundo condicional el verbo iba en pasado. El pasado de go, went. El pasado de live, lived. El pasado de have, had. Okay, don't forget that. Okay, let's start with the activity B. Rewrite a sentence using the present perfect tense. Okay, what is the structure for present perfect? Subject plus have or has and the verb in past participle. Excellent. Now, let's start with this part. In number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you have to rewrite, reescribir las oraciones, pero cambiándoles a present perfect, ¿ok? Recuerde la estructura y de esa manera le vamos cambiando. For example, number 1, the rainy season began early this year. You have to change in present perfect. The rainy season has begun early this year. Okay? In this case, you have to write the auxiliary, in this case has, and the verb, and the verb in past participle o the third column. Recordemos que tenemos que para el presente, para hacer una oración en presente perfecto, ocupamos del auxiliar has or have y el verbo va en pasado participio conjugado o la tercera columna. Okay? Number 2. The temperatures research, in this case, the temperatures is plural. For this reason, you have to use have. Okay? Don't forget that. 30 grades this summer. You have to rewrite the sentence using the present perfect. You have to copy the same subject, el mismo sujeto. Okay? the temperatures. In this case, we have to use have because we are talking about a lot of things or people. Research is the verb, but before the verb, you have to use the auxiliary. In this case, the auxiliary for in this is have. Okay, the auxiliary. And the verb research is a regular verb. Okay, for in this case, you have to add ed in the final. And the same complement. Y el mismo complemento. Number 3. The plants grow at least 2 centimeters every day. In this case, you have to change in present perfect. How? You have to copy the same subject, the plants. The plant. Plant is singular. And for this reason, you can use has. Because if you want to change the plant for a pronoun, you can replace with it. And he, she, and it, you have to use has. Okay? And grow, you have to change in past participle. Okay? O the third column. Recuerde que el verbo cambia a pasado participio o lo mismo que vemos en la columna de los verbos, siempre la tercera columna. At least 2 centimeters every day. Number 4. The birds go to their caves for the winter. In this case, you have to change the sentence in present perfect. You have to write the same subject, the birds, and in this case, you have to use the auxiliary for present perfect. Birds, plural. And you have to use have. Okay, the birds have and go in past participle. The past participle of the verb go is gone. Very good. You have to write the same. To their caves for the winter. Number 5. We received 200 centimeters of rain this year. In this case, it's the same. The sentence is in past, but you have to change in present perfect. Okay? We is a pronoun, is the subject. For this pronoun, you have to use have. The auxiliary have. And the verb received, you have to change in past participle. And it's the same that in past. You have to only add ed, received is the same because it's regular. 2,000 centimeters of rain this year. Okay? Please doing your homework. Let's check the next page, okay? Please open your black and white book on page number 71. Okay? In this part, we have a chart. Activity A, say, complete the chart. What can we do to protect the ecosystems? It is so important because nowadays all the people can help the environment. In this case, we are talking about the actions and results. What are actions? It's something that you can do. Las acciones son algo que nosotros podemos hacer. Okay? And what are results? Is the consequence. Okay? Son las consecuencias de una acción o de algo que nosotros hacemos. ¿Ok? Entonces en este cuadrito vamos a hablar de eso. ¿Qué acciones podemos hacer? ¿Con qué resultados para proteger nuestro ecosistema? ¿Ok? Y tenemos que ponerlos en práctica. ¿Ok? We are talking about the forests, oceans and rivers, deserts, tundra and grand lands. Okay. Action. For in forests, stop cutting tree down. What is the result? Please read. Okay. Reduce global warming. Excellent. Number 2. In case of oceans and river, avoid throwing garbage in river or oceans. Okay, what is the result? Please read. Okay, very good. Save marine animals and plants from dying. Number 3. Deserts. Actions. Avoid the use of aerosols. The result? Please read. Okay, excellent. In number 4, tundra. Actions. Use less water. It is so important all the time. Try to reduce the use of the water. And what is the result? Excellent, very good. Now the last one. Grand slam. The action, eliminate. Please read. Excellent, very good. And the result? Prevent the grand lands from becoming dry and desert-like. In this case, you have to do all of this. Okay? Para prevenir el ecosistema, como mencionaba, o sea, evitar botar la basura en los océanos o ríos, evitar el uso de aerosoles, utilizar menos del agua, desperdiciar menos del agua y eliminar los químicos perjudiciales. Hoy en día hay muchos, ¿ok? Now we have to do the activity B. With this information, we are going to work in the activity B. Activity B says, complete the sentences using the information in the chart. Forest, wood, ocean and river, desert, tundra and grand lands. In this case, we are going to use second conditional. Example, forest. If we stopped cutting trees down, comma, it would reduce global warming. You have to use the same. Stop cutting trees down, the action, and the result, reduce global warming. But you have to write the first part in past, because when you use the if clause in second conditional in the first part, you use the past simple, comma, and the second part you have to use the modal verb would and the verb in the base form. Next, oceans and rivers. The sentence is using the clause if. For this reason, the first part you have to write in past simple. Very good. Okay. What is the action? Avoid throwing garbage in river and ocean. You have to write, but you have to write avoid in past. And the second part, it would, you have to write the same, the result. Save marine animals and plants for dying. In this case, it's the same. Why? Because when you use would, the modal would, the verb is in the base form. Okay. Well, let's start with desert. If we, the same, you have to use avoid the use of aerosols. You have to use the same, but remember, when you use the clause if, the verb is in past. Excellent. Avoid the use of aerosols. Comma, don't forget that because it's so important, the comma. Okay, the comma. It would, the result, return to the activity A. What is the result? Saved. Excellent. You have to write the same. Save the reserve limited water. But But remember, when you use the modal verb would, the verb is in the base form, safe. Okay? Okay, let's start with tundra. Okay, in the chart 8, action. Use less water. If we use less water, in this case, when you use the clause if, you have to change the verb in past. All the sentence is in past simple. In this case, use is a regular verb. For this reason, you have to add ed, and in this case, only ed. If we used less water, don't forget comma. In the second part, we have to use the modal would. Would, and you have to write the result. What is the result? Keep the ground for thawing due to global warming. You have to write the same, and remember, in this case, you have to use the modal would. For this reason, the verb is in the base form keep. Okay. The last one, grasslands. You have to return to the activity 8. Grassland, eliminate. What is the action? Eliminate. Please read. Okay, excellent. Now you have to write the same, eliminate. But in this case, when you are using the clause if in the first part, and in the second conditional, you have to write the verb and all the sentence in past simple. In this case, eliminate is a regular verb. Okay. In this case, you have to add ed. Eliminate, only use add d. Harmful chemicals. Okay. And what is the result? According to the chart, prevent, continue with the reading, prevent the grassland from becoming dry and desert-like. Very good. And you have to write the same. And in this case, you are using the modal would, and the verb is in the base form. Okay. Prevent the grassland from. It's all the same. All the same. And this is all for our class, my dear student. Please try to do that in your try to practice at home.